This is day 3 in solving, and we're going to look at dividing by a negative and solving equations with distributive property. So for the warm-up, it says simplify the following expression by distributing. It's an expression because there's no equal sign, and we will distribute the 3 because in the parentheses we cannot combine the negative 2 and the 5x because the 5 has the x with it. So in class we talk about using spider legs or the rainbow method to distribute. We're going to take our and then we have our 3 times our 5x, and that is 15x. So here's our simplified expression. We distributed and got rid of the parentheses. Let's review multiplying and dividing with negatives. A positive times a positive is a positive because it's like adding in hot cubes. A negative times a negative is a positive because it's like taking out cold cubes. A negative times a positive is a negative because it's like taking out hot cubes, and that would make the temperature go down. And a positive times a negative is a negative because, again, it's like adding cold cubes, and that would also make the temperature go down. Let's just do a few review problems, practice solving for x. This one is something like what we've done before. So first step, if it helps, draw down the line. Combine like terms on each side if possible, but it's not here. So let's get the cups, the 3 x's by themselves, and let's say the 26 is kind of like your candy. So get rid of these 26 candies on this side. So do it on this side. We have negative 3x equals, and let's see, this will be 39 divided by negative 3. So here, 39, a positive divided by a negative is a negative, and it will be negative 13. And remember, you can check your answer by plugging in for x. We have negative 3 times negative 13 plus 26. Does that equal 65? And so when you solve this, we'll have 39 plus 26, or simplify, I should say. Does that equal 65? And it does. So for all of these, you can check your answer by plugging in and making sure that it's equal on each side. All right, so we're going to try the next one. Over here we have a 3 plus x over negative 11 equals 9. And when you're solving, you do opposite order of operations. We have division, we have addition. Get rid of the addition first. So subtract 3 from each side. We have x over negative 11, or x divided by negative 11 equals negative 27. And it's x divided by negative 11, so to get rid of that, we're going to multiply each side by negative 11. And a negative times a negative is a positive. And 27, let's see if my calculator is working. It's not working. All right, so we have negative 27 times negative 11 is 297. Again, if you want to check your answer, you can plug back in. 3 plus 297 divided by negative 11. Does that equal 9? So let's try it. Divided by negative 11, negative 27. Oh, and I did something wrong. So looking at my answer, this is not right. What did I do? Oh, here I multiplied and I should have subtracted. So let's start again. This is why we check our answer. All right, so let's take a look at this. First step, we should have subtracted 3. I think I multiplied by 3 for negative 3 for some reason, and that was wrong. So we have x over negative 11. I'm sorry, my Mobi is being kind of fussy, equals, and this should have been 6, not negative 27. And now we multiply each side by negative 11. So I check our answer. X equals negative 66. All right, this should work. Let's double check our answer. 3 plus negative 66 divided by negative 11. Does that equal 9? This would be 3 plus 6, and yes, that equals 9. Good, so that's how you can check your answer. Okay, let's try a few more with these fractions here. So for this one, we have divided by negative 6 and subtract 5. So get rid of the subtract 5. Remember, we're doing opposite order of operations. So if I were to write up PEMDAS, we have division and we have subtraction. So when we're solving, we go the opposite order. Get rid of subtraction first by addition. x over negative 6 equals 9. Then get rid of the division by multiplying, so multiply by negative 6. So x equals negative 54. And if we plug in our answer, negative 54 divided by negative 6 is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay, this one, same thing if we write up PEMDAS. We have division. We have addition. So now we work backwards and get rid of the addition first by subtraction. Subtract 6 from each side first. So negative 9 minus 6 is negative 15. And then to get rid of the divided by negative 4, we're going to multiply each side by negative 4. And a negative times a negative is a positive. And 15 times 4 is 60. So you have x equals 60. Again, you can check your answer. 6 plus 60 divided by negative 4, does that equal negative 9? And 60 divided by 4 is negative 19. So 6 minus 15, does that equal negative 9? And it does. Okay. Last thing for today, solving equations with distributive property. There's actually two ways you can solve this right here. You can either distribute and then solve for x, or you can actually get rid of the 4 first. So I'm going to show you each way. So most of my students like to distribute when they see the parentheses, and that's fine. So we can distribute. We'll get negative 12x minus 8 equals 64. And now we can get rid of the negative 8 first. Again, it's opposite order of operations. So we're going to add 8 each time first, to each side I should say. Negative 12x equals, and this will be 72. And then it's negative 12 times x. It's not a subtraction. So we don't add the 12 here. We have to get rid of it by doing the opposite. Divide by negative 12. And that will give us 6 for an answer. And again, you can plug in and you can double check your answer. So that's one way you can distribute first. But let's say you didn't want to distribute first. If I write up order of operations, we have this multiplying before we have the parentheses. So you can actually get rid of the multiplying first, this negative 2, by dividing it out. So instead of distributing first, you could also divide by that number in front. So you can choose. You can distribute first or divide by that number first. You should get the same answer. So we have half of 56. 56 divided by 2 is 28, but it's divided by a negative. So we have negative 28 equals 4x minus 4. So again, we divided by the negative 2. We can drop the parentheses. Now we will add 4 to each side. So we'll get negative 24 equals 4x divided by 4. So we'll get x equals negative 6. So you can try it by distributing first. You should still get the same answer, negative 6 here. So again, we'll do one each method, and you can decide what you like better. So let's say we like spider legs. We want to distribute first. We can do that. So we'll distribute. 5 times 5x is 25x. 5 times 4 is 20, and that equals negative 30. We'll subtract 20 from each side. We have 25x equals negative 50. Divide by 25. X equals negative 2. And you can check your answer. 5 times negative 2, negative 10. Negative 10 plus 4 is negative 6. Negative 6 times 5 is negative 30. All right, so let's say you didn't want to do spider legs or distribute first. You can get rid of the negative 3 first since it's being multiplied. And when you do opposite order of operations, you get rid of that before parentheses. So let's divide each side by negative 3 first. And we'll get negative 4x plus 2 equals negative 6. We will subtract 2 from each side. Negative 4x equals negative 8. Again, this is not subtraction, it's multiplication. So we're going to divide each side by negative 4. And we'll get x equals 2. Okay, you can plug in your answer to check. So today we'll practice with these negatives. Remember, think about, are we adding, multiplying, and do the opposite to get rid of it. So if you're multiplying by a negative, you divide by it to get rid of it. And I think that's it for notes. Let's double check. Yep. So try these for your assignment and let me know if you have questions.